Hello, Anon. I want to play a game.
For years now, you have been hunting down big guys. A plane will be redirected to crash on you.
The past 5 years, you have collected rainwater.
For years, you have smoked cigarettes. Your love of cigarettes will be put to the test.
3 months ago, you refused to honor my coupon at Subway, even though it had only expired a couple of days before.
It is forbidden to store ice cream in your back pocket in the state you reside in, Kentucky. In front of you is a dead hooker. In her back pocket is a token to your freedom. Hello, moderator.
Can you learn to put a limit on your power and judge a thread properly?
Who's gonna delete the thread? Don't do it! Don't delete the thread! No!
Do you remember the day you saw that Three Musketeers bar stuck in the vending machine? Little did you that it was my candy bar.
For years you have striven to be the utmost contrarian. Never a thought to the studios and filmmakers who poured their heart and soul into it. You have 30 minutes to give positive reviews and suitable ratings to every Marvel film.
For years, you've enjoyed your 2 scoops of ice cream while the unfortunate souls around you suffered only 1.
9 years ago, you linked me to a website called Meatspin.
25 years ago, you wept because your diaper was full.
You got a job at McDonald's. You smiled at medically obese people as you helped them worsen their condition.
As a child, you refused to eat your vegetables because you thought they tasted bad.
You were offered a biscuit, but you took 2. Now I'm offering you pain. How much will you take? You wasted your fullest potential by squandering hours sitting at your computer, playing games. Tonight, the computer plays you.
Look at me! Look at me! Look at him! He stole my face!
You need to leave!
I am a person! I exist!
You didn't tip appropriately. Now you will have to pay with another kind of tip.
You have wasted your life spewing the most disgusting things about actresses' feet.
I know you lied to your employer, passing off a restaurant's food as your own.
18 years ago, you rejected the advances of sex from a severely overweight woman.
If you listen closely, you will realize you are on a plane currently flying on autopilot. You must recite the plane scene as you do so.
Do you remember last Friday when you forgot to wish your coworker a happy birthday?
When you were 2 years old, you shit on the carpet because you thought it was funny. Well, you didn't respect the hard work of the Chinese people making that carpet.
Before you are 2 doors. Behind one of these doors is freedom, but behind the other door is a girl. She has loved you her entire life, but you never noticed it. However, after a week she will violently explode, possibly taking you with her. You must decide whether to go on with your life, alone and cold, or accept the girl and her inevitable death. It's your choice, Ana.
You've shown great disrespect to your peers. You referred to a cancer-stricken wheelchair-bound man as Lightning McQueen with AIDS.
When you were 12, you took a cookie out of the cookie jar after your mother told you dinner will be ready in 5 minutes.
You're always alone in your room watching anime women, never thinking about women that could be right down the hall, maybe even thinking about you. This is your big sister's room. On the bed, there is a woman. In order to gain your freedom, the key you seek is between her legs. Your sister is ready, brother.
You went for a walk in the park yesterday, and a man sneezed next to you. You let him walk on by, but you did not say bless you.
You've spent a lifetime paralyzed with indecision. Now you'll have to make the hardest choice of all. Do you let the trolley run over the defenseless people tied to the tracks? Or do you pull the lever to switch the tracks, causing a different person to die instead?
You like to make fun of the Saw movies by thinking of satirical traps on an internet image board. You are trapped in a workshop, where you will have to create a Saw death trap.
The semen slurping trap.
For years you've wallowed in slothful hedonism, while the people around you broke their backs to support you. Before you are 6 people, or wage slaves as you liked to call them, and they will be drowned in alcohol. The only way to prevent this is to not masturbate to this crumpled up picture of Taylor Swift's feet. Make your choice.
For years, you've been making fun of women on the internet, poisoning the world with your misogynistic ways. On this TV, every moment of Amy Schumer will be shown. You'll lose 1 cl of blood every time you do not laugh at one of her hilarious jokes.
Review, bro. While you were busy eating onion rings in your car, a Burger King employee choked to death on a pickle across the parking lot.
You have lived most of your life posting on an anonymous image board about Braps.
For years you have languished in a bed, indulging in fried rice and egg rolls. Well, now the John Kramer diet is your only hope for survival.
20 years ago, you took the last copy of my favorite Beastie Boys album at a record store.
You threw eggs at that house when you were 7, all because they wouldn't answer the door while we...
I'd like to play a game.
In 1999, you broke into a home, held a woman down, and sucked her toes.
For years, you worked an average job because you couldn't figure out what you wanted to be.
For years, you used the services of Wikipedia. And for years, you've seemed to please for financial assistance.
I went to give you a high five the other day and you just left me hanging. Now you'll get to find out what it truly means to be left hanging.
Remember that one time you promised your girlfriend you would pull out, and you didn't? I remember. So does she.
15 years ago, you cheated your friend in a game of Uno.
Remember that time you double-dipped a chip? Now you will be double-dipped in acid.
10 years ago, you stood alone in an elevator and watched a desperate man run for the closing doors. I missed a cavity filling that day and had to pay a $1.50 rescheduling fee.
You sold a Lego set to a 5-year-old, knowing that it was meant for ages 11 and up.
It's the bubblegum wrapper you threw on the ground a week ago. I saw it. An ant picked it up, carried it to the hive, and now all the ants abandoned the hive.
3 months ago, you fell asleep on the bus home from your 12-hour shift. A pregnant woman got on the bus, and you did not offer her your seat. This selfishness cannot be tolerated.
You were 14 or 15 at the time. A girl gave you the signal that she wanted to see you again. She was from the same school, and you can still remember her smile. It haunts you in your dreams. You made up some excuse and refused, even though you wanted to be with her. Now, a highly advanced AI has developed a video reel of the future you missed with her. It is a compilation of highlights from the life that never was.
For years, you've languished in your bedroom at your mother's home. Like a parasite, you feed off society and contribute nothing. You're standing in a glass case of human feces. Your feces from your beloved shit jugs. Suspended above you is a tank of urine, drawn from your own piss bottles. When the time is up, the tank will flood the glass case and you will drown in the depths of your own miserable existence.
Last week, you posted, "Fuck off Redditor," to an innocent poster who had never been on Reddit. That poster was me.
You once replied to an anonymous user telling him to have sex. Well, that anon was me. However, I don't have the money for elaborate traps, so I'm just gonna run you with my car.
3 weeks ago, you borrowed a work of fiction from your local library. You didn't return it on time, and the fines are beginning to close in on you. Use your library card to free her from the chains, or use it to activate the bomb inside her.
You have devoted your life into acquiring as many followers on your social media as possible. You are now stuck in a room with your incel followers.
For years, you've worked at McDonald's as a fry cook, and yet not once have you ever filled a fry cup up all the way as prescribed in the employee manual. You've cheated customers out of their golden, crispy goodness for years.
At the restaurant a couple months ago, you took a bite of food, and the server asked you, "Is everything okay?" You looked annoyed and brushed them off without giving an answer.
For years, you have stolen pictures of cartoon frogs, despite knowing that they were rare and not to be stolen under any circumstances.
You take delight in embarrassing people about their physical appearance on national TV. Some people have never recovered from your cruel jabs. For the past 4 years, your victim has been trapped in that moment, unable to move on, desperately searching for the perfect comeback. Now you'll know how it feels to be trapped. You've strapped your face to Jonah Hill's ass.
You spent your waking days complaining about not having sex with women. There are 5 women in front of you. One of their vaginas contains the key to disarming the bomb. You can only reach the key by a magnet on the tip of your cock. Each of them has a severe STD, so choose wisely.
For years you've been spending your time at home, leeching off of your parents, leeching off of the government, all to feed your frivolous addiction. You let your life waste away before your eyes, without a care in the world. Once opened, you will be met with a flood of leeches, parasites, much like yourself.
When you're dying of cancer, you learn to appreciate the small things in life. For example, I developed a taste for Subway sandwiches, specifically the meatball.
You've pirated tentacle hentai for years, depriving the hardworking animators of the money they deserve. The key to the device is in your asshole. Stick your ass in that aquarium and get the octopus to fish it out of you.
Do you see that group of men sitting just over there? Violent convicts from the local maximum security prison. But there is one thing they all can agree is far worse and reprehensible. I think you know what it is. I have here some files, screenshots, posts, logs, detailing your affinity for cunning, as you call it. I may just have to share this with our friends sitting over there.
For too long, you have abused your anonymity to spill slurs and purposely exclude people different from you. Now you will be released into the ghetto with this device strapped to your head that will detonate if you stop screaming the N-word. Will you stand by your beliefs? Or will the fear of repercussion silence you forever?
Yo, you won't say that word? No way.
In front of you is a video game console with 2 controllers and a selection of multiplayer type. I'll be there in a few minutes with snacks and drinks.
For years, you have disregarded basic social etiquette by standing directly next to another man at the urinals, despite there being other vacant urinals to choose from.
Remember 2 years ago when you dented the bumper of a 2013 Hyundai Tucson at that Trader Joe's parking lot in Dallas? You said to yourself, it's a small dent, and they won't even notice. Will it get fast enough to kill you? Or will it just leave a small dent that you won't notice?
In 2008, you illegally downloaded all 24 episodes of the Japanese animation Lucky Star. You told yourself you would eventually purchase it on DVD to help support the creators. Now Kyoto Animation is up in flames.
You've been living on meat bucks, a drain on society and a shame to your family. Today we're going to see how much fun you can have with meat bucks.
On February 22nd of this year, you posted a thread mocking me and my work, as well as the fruitful discussion of them. Now you are the one who will be discussed. You are to do an impression of my voice and post it on a saw thread for your fellow Anons to judge.
Hello, Robert. Employee of the month at the Kinoplex. Hello, Harry. I want to play a game. You had everything you needed right in front of you. You squandered a relationship with the woman who loves you. Instead of the happy ending, you chose to cheat on her with a tranny. Your entire life you've been chasing traps. And now, I have a trap for you.
You didn't reply to the cashier when she said, "Have a nice day," because you clearly don't appreciate your life. I've kidnapped you and chained you to a wall. You'll notice that there's also 20 shotguns poised at your head that will all fire in 1 minute.
17 days ago, you took a ride on a public bus and didn't thank the bus driver. For this, I have placed you in a locked cage with the bus driver.
You have wasted much of your life in front of pornography, pleasuring yourself to the sight of others, becoming a slave to ever unsatiated appetites. You need to masturbate with that wire until you come enough to fill the bottle.
Hello, Quentin. For years, you have licked the finest feet.
Joey, for years you have fabricated a false life story about adventures in the 80s while stroking Joe Rogan's undeserving ego.
So I wake up and my fucking legs are connected to the wall and I'm sideways hanging out of the wall. There's a tape recorder, but there wasn't no coke in it. Just this jack off talking about philosophy and shit. So I gotta slide out of this fucking room somehow into the next room to unlock myself, or the machine would grind my fucking legs, but
You've wasted away countless hours on TV, jerking it to Christina Hendricks weapons, and fantasizing about Bryce Dallas Howard rapping in your face before crying yourself to sleep every night.
You were up late last night trying to get your baby to sleep. You failed, and you showed up to work 6 minutes late on 3 hours of sleep. Today, you may sleep forever.
Anon, you wasted your life by spending all your free time masturbating. She will masturbate you as many times as you did. She have gloves with sandpaper on them. Your task is to endure the masturbation and come without screaming or moving.
You smoke cigarettes, therefore, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Your indulgence into gluttony has shown a lack of care for your personal health. Before you is a fairly small amount of McDonald's for an average-sized person. In your bloodstream is a toxin that will only neutralize when you attain ketosis.
You smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes kill. Why don't you appreciate life?
You designed a chair to stop men from being able to open their legs. You expect men to just crush their testicles with your design. You are a sexist. But since you believe in the lie known as manspreading, and you have the luxury of not having external genitalia, perhaps you ought to know the pain men go through when you force them to sit the way you want.
28 years ago, you threw a candy wrapper on the street, even though there was a no loitering sign. Now you're going to be thrown into a trash compactor.
For the last 10 years, you've been coming into your menial cubicle job late. Furthermore, you consistently steal minutes of productivity that your employer pays you for every day with bathroom breaks, early lunch breaks. Today, you're going to pay back that stolen time with interest. You farted in a shopping mall elevator full of people. You have until the elevator reaches the top floor to escape before it becomes flooded with toxic gas.
There's a piece of Popeye's chicken with fishing wire dangling over a spike there. It's a leg piece, seasoned with the finest herbs Popeyes can offer. Do you resist it?
In your 15 years on the force, no one else has such an impressive track record of diving into the fire and rescuing over 100 men, women, children, and cats. You won't let anyone die, because that's just the kind of man you are. Well, we can't have that, can we? The man in front of you will have a 100-ton weight dropped on him in 2 minutes.
I noticed you didn't say bless you when another patron at your local coffee establishment sneezed.
If you do not escape in time, the police officer's knee will be lowered onto your neck.
Last night, you dared to serve undercooked meat to your patrons, one of whom happened to be me.
For years, you have forsaken your masculine origins, choosing instead to dress in feminine attire and fool men in lusting for you. Until now, you have been happy to watch Kino without rewarding the filmmakers with any compensation. If you don't feed the tube in front of you with your precious seed, 4,000 leashes will be released onto your bare flesh.
You and your board members have spent years parodying my works for your cheap entertainment. You would rather sit in front of a computer screen mocking others than start a family and work hard to benefit society.
Last month you kicked a snail on your way to work. Because of that, I cut your legs and now you'll have 3 minutes to crawl 2 meters through broken glass.
You've spent the last 6 years flirting, dating women half your age for the official Minecraft Discord server.
You did not care about your decency around others. You let loose a fart inside an elevator when you were only getting out on the next floor. Now you will find yourself trapped in the same predicament.
You never appreciated the stairs, always taking the elevator. You must escape this wood chipper feat first.
You didn't wash your hands after taking a massive shit. So now you have to scrub the skin off your hands.
You usually return your grocery cart to the proper place, but last week you were in a hurry. So you'd better hurry and replace your liver and kidneys that I've put in the cooler across the room.
Taking 2 free samples instead of 1? Another hungry shopper went without that sweet vanilla taste, while you filled your stomach with sugary goodness.
Your palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. You must vomit your mother's spaghetti onto your sweater to show you value the gift of life.
For years now, you have shut off your computer by holding down the power button, rather than taking the time to do so safely from within the operating system. In 1 minute, this room will flood itself with thousands of broken desktop computers, ruined by technologically incompetent vermin like you. You will be crushed under their weight.
For years you have posted armpits on TV, wasting your life. Today, armpits may very well ensure this is your last day on Earth. Connected to this room is the collected armpit aroma of every female A-list celebrity in Hollywood. Once the timer ends, the room will be filled with this stench, and you will be left to suffocate. Your only hope of salvation is pressing this button, which will delete your armpit folder and set you free, literally and figuratively. Will you let go of your obsession, or will you be left no breathing room?
In high school, you could have filled out a contest entry for a lifetime supply of free frozen yogurt, but you didn't take the time. Now you have 6 minutes to inject your eyeballs with a pint of strawberry frozen yogurt to prove you value life.
On the table before you lies a bowl of 50 hard-boiled eggs. I expect you to eat them all.
Last week you stepped on the grass, despite a sign telling you not to. You have 30 seconds to grow a perfect lawn of carpet grass, or this giant boot squashes you.
You always demanded tendies from Mommy, but would never eat the entire meal. The room is slowly filling with Mommy's milkies, which will soon drown you in its smooth, sweet flavor.
You smoke? I will use you to teach this complete stranger a lesson.
There is an attractive female on the other side of this door. When it is open, you must maintain eye contact with her for 20 seconds.
Last week you called me a baguette online. Words can hurt a non. It's about time you learned that. Before you is a TV that will play an hour of tranny porn on loop at max volume. If you get a boner, the string attached to your cock will pull the pin from the grenade I have taken the liberty of shoving up your ass. Who's the baguette now, Anon?
Hello, Shuao Chingaling. You spend your whole life cutting corners and recklessly disregarding public safety. Now your shoelaces have been caught inside the Chinese escalator track.
You were eating soup in a bowl that was too big. Most would consider this wasteful, but not you. Now you are trapped in a giant bowl with only a giant spoon to save you. Scoop out the acid soup as it fills your would-be grave, or do nothing and melt away like your lack of conscience.
Hello, Rakesh. You want to play a game? For years you have scammed little old ladies out of thousands of dollars of Google Play cards to pay for your various OnlyFans subscription. In the room with you now is a white woman. If you can't resist the urge to ask for Bob's or Vagine, the computer behind you will automatically redeem the card.
You brewed the tea 5 degrees too hot and for 10 seconds too long. Green tea is very delicate, and you ought to put forth more effort and consideration when treating a friend. You will have to scoop out your own eyeballs with the teaspoon sewn inside your stomach to stop this elevator's descent. If you don't, then you will be submerged in boiling water that will brew you for even longer.
For years you've imagined the smell on TV, television, and film, and amassed a 2 terabyte collection of celebrity pictures. Imagine no more. In front of you, protruding from the wall, are the asses, legs, feet, and hands of 14 different actresses. To your left, name tags of these 14 actresses. To your right, a handbook containing a detailed itinerary of each actress's day down to the minute.
For the past 10 years, you've chosen to edge your life away, ignoring pleas of those around you to get a girlfriend. In front of you lies a Tenga spinner and a 4K monitor playing Wow Sluts Get Naughty Fap Hero Extreme Difficulty. You must hit every stroke correctly without coming, or the needles currently injected in your testicles will pump 5 gallons of chlorine bleach into your bloodstream. Goon or die. Make your choice.
When I was getting cancer treatments, I had to urinate into a cup for sampling quite often. I could always hear you laughing as you heard me strain to urinate. Now it is your job to piss into this container. You have 2 hours to fill this 2-gallon jug entirely with your piss, or anything else you might summon out of your urine.
For years now, you have worked so that your family may live a comfortable life. For a decade, you worked 2 jobs, built a bigger house to accommodate your children, all the while taking care of your sick mother. Family sees you as the perfect father. But they don't know you like I do. Your hands are stained with blood, and you carry the weight of murder. In your selfishness, you fail to account for the family of mice living underneath the floorboards in the older house you had demolished. Now, you will face your very own mousetrap.
For the last 30 years, you've been secretly picking your nose and not washing your hands afterwards. So within the next 30 minutes, you'll need to pick out the key I surgically implanted into your sphenoid sinus.
You referred to Elliot Page as a her 2 months after he made his transition public. Now you're going to put on a dress and makeup and walk around a rural Georgia County fair. If anyone refers to you as he, the contraption on your waist will immediately rip your penis off.
You told people a song was Darude Sandstorm on an anonymous site, when the song definitely wasn't Darude Sandstorm. As punishment, you've been placed in an industrial sandblasting chamber.
For years, you have made thousands off of lonely virgin men on the internet, using the large assets on your chest to enrich yourself using their solitude and misery. Well, tonight, you will have to use those very assets to survive.
You ordered extra honey mustard with your McNuggets last year, but still only ended up using 1 packet, despite the fact that there are starving children in the world. Now you'll be submerged in a vat of boiling honey mustard. I hope you brought your appetite today, Detective.
Last Tuesday at Burger King, the cashier accidentally gave you an extra Whopper, and you didn't bring it to her attention. Now you will learn a lesson about gluttony. In front of you are 50 Whopper sandwiches.
Every day you kick the same rock on your way to work. Every day you inflict suffering upon objects you have no care for. Now it is time for the roles to be reversed.
Hello, viewer. You don't know me, but I know you. For many days, you city folks have been spreading New York values and feeding our children fudge rounds. Well, Mr. Gucci loafers, you tried that in the wrong small-town boy. I dealt with city slickers like you before. My buddy Chuck told me you have been demonstrating your hatred for Sneed's Feed and Seed. You pieces of shit don't know about the ugly side of life. You think you're gonna keep the good people scared with your German car? Well, it's time for a confession. Jigsaw is our grandfather. He taught us how to make our first trap with a horse and a red Ford Raptor truck. We the farm boy keeping you fat cats in line. All our theatrics has been done in a farm. We will make sure the Jigsaw legacy is secure, and our Paw Patrol will keep the working class safe from disgusting city folks like you. Well, la-di-da, Mr. Park Avenue Manicure. It's time for you to share the dread of your victims. You've shown your hatred for Sneed. Now it's time to make you bleed. Game over.